Barak Yehovah, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kurak Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching His truth and none but the truth. In the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, some New Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like, for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person or so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up about war and that glittery sword. Anyway, I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the scripture my best ability, say whatever I got to say through spirit and the power of Yahweh by Shemal Shah, the Holy Spirit of Kurhak Kadash, Lord willing be on me. Let's get it.
For decades, militaries competed to build bigger arsenals. Now they're racing to replenish them. From Europe to the Indo-Pacific, two U.S. governments are drawing the same conclusion. The next war may last far longer than their stockpiles. Our next story explores the wars in West Asia and Ukraine, which have revealed the critical vulnerability and how it is quietly pushing the world towards a dangerous arms race.
The warning signs are no longer hidden. They are flashing across battlefields, factories, and war rooms. Missiles are being fired faster. Drones are being built faster. Ammunition is being used faster. But production is struggling to keep up. The war in Ukraine offered the first glimpse of the problem. Russia continues to hammer Ukrainian cities with waves of thousands of drones, missiles, and guided bombs every month. Ukraine strikes back with long-range drone attacks on energy and military targets inside Russia. The result is a conflict that is burning through weapons at a staggering rate. Then the most recent example is in West Asia. The US has reportedly depleted its stock of Tomahawk missiles, THAAD and Patriot missile interceptors. Even as the Pentagon insists that weapon supplies remain strong, analysts say shrinking missile reserves could be influencing Washington's decision on whether it can afford to reignite the Iran war. Volodymyr Zelensky, who is pleading with Trump to send more weapons urgently, warns that the US's inability to produce enough missiles could lead to a crisis. Modern war is no longer testing only soldiers. It is testing factories, it is testing supply chains, it is testing how long a country can keep its arsenal filled. That fear is now spreading far beyond Europe. Across the Indo-Pacific, nations are quietly rearming. Caught between China's rising military power and growing questions about America's ability to focus on multiple conflicts at once, countries are building new security networks. Japan, the Philippines, Australia, Canada, and others are expanding defense cooperation, sharing technology and boosting military preparedness.
And go to war against Babylon the Great America. Shit, and America looking like they're looking pretty pathetic, bro. The Lord is breaking these niggas down, breaking this bitch down. Goodness gracious, bro. Yeah, what's going on, bro? Y'all slacking. America is slacking, and these other nations they getting stronger.
Europe is moving in the same direction. After years of reducing defense spending, many governments are now pouring billions into new missiles, air defenses, artillery shells, and arms production lines. The goal now is no longer just deterrence, it's about being ready for what comes next. For any nation with hostile neighbors, the lesson of this great depletion is unmistakable. Relying on age-old alliance logistics is a fatal mistake, and countries are moving towards piling up massive ammunition reserves to guarantee their future survival. Bureau Report, WION.
I want to say all these countries going to go to war with America, but they probably are going to, they are going to be launching warheads and missiles at these niggas over here in America. But they, you you hear this news, that should let you know that, hey man, World War III is here. I don't know what else to say. Let me read the scripture because I'm just rambling. I'm trying to get my words together. I'm tired. See, Joel chapter 3 verse 9. I'm thinking about doing another video after this. I got so many videos to get into. Joel chapter 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, beat their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. All those countries the narrator just mentioned, yeah, those countries was considered to be weak compared to America. But America, shit, they depleted all the Tomahawk missiles, supposedly, allegedly, because of Israel. I mean, Amalek. And whatever, missile defense systems, it's pretty much out. They got to rebuild some more and whatever. Hell. Says, yeah, these other nations are starting to say, man, we got to go and develop some missiles and defend for ourselves, especially NATO or not NATO, but EU. NATO, I mean, they're scattered. I mean, different countries, but when it comes to EU, yeah, they got to defend their citizens. They don't have America to back them up. So anyway, but they ramping up on everything they doing. Anyway, because it's World War III. Let's get some more videos talking about war.
Grainger makes it easy to find and order the products your team depends on around.
For decades, militaries competed to build bigger arsenals, and now they are racing to replenish them, from Europe to the Indo-Pacific to US. Governments are drawing the same conclusion. The next war may last far longer than their stockpiles. Our next story explores the war in West Asia and Ukraine, have revealed the critical vulnerabilities and how it is quietly pushing the world towards a dangerous arms race. Take a look.
The warning signs are no longer hidden.
It's like the one from the last video. Oh well.
They are flashing across battlefields, factories,
Yeah, it's pretty much the same shit as the last video. I wasn't sure. I'll still play it.
and war rooms.
You know what? No, because this is the same damn video. I didn't even know that. I didn't notice it. Let me go and remove that one. Well, let me go and read this one. Okay, you see all those missiles being launched? Just nothing but missiles. Missiles, missiles, missiles. Big missiles, small missiles. Look, a medium-sized missile. Shit. Is it Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5? For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, but garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Yeah, those missiles. Yep, they burning with fuel of fire on the tail end, but then they gonna blow when they make that destination, hit their target. It's gonna blow up with a whole bunch of fire, hot fire. Yep. Let me see. Let's see what this one's about.
At a time of rising geopolitical tensions, the United States is considering sending nuclear forces near the Russian border. According to a report by the Financial Times, the Trump administration is in talks to deploy additional nuclear-capable bombers in Europe. Poland and the Baltic states are being considered as bases for deployment of NATO nuclear bombers. This next story takes a look at how this move could spark renewed tensions with Moscow.
For decades, one principle has helped prevent a direct clash between the world's biggest military powers: fear. The fear that any nuclear conflict could spiral beyond control. That fear shaped the Cold War. It still shapes military planning today. But now, reports suggest a major shift could be underway. According to a Financial Times report, the United States is discussing whether to expand its nuclear sharing arrangements within NATO, potentially allowing more European countries to host aircraft capable of delivering US nuclear weapons. The discussions reportedly involve NATO's eastern flank, including countries closer to Russia. No agreement is said to be imminent, but talks are underway through NATO channels. Nuclear-capable bombers or strike aircraft are currently deployed in the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Belgium and the Netherlands. According to reports, Poland and the Baltic states are eyed as bases for NATO dual-capable aircrafts. Right now, experts estimate that around 100 American B-61 nuclear bombs are stored at bases across Belgium, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands and Turkey. The move comes as the Trump administration pushes European allies to shoulder a greater share of conventional defense responsibilities while maintaining the American nuclear umbrella. Reports say Washington wants to reassure allies that reduced conventional deployments do not mean reduced security commitments. Moscow has repeatedly portrayed NATO's military buildup near its borders as a threat. Any move to place additional nuclear-capable aircraft closer to Russia could heighten tensions at a time when relations are already at their lowest point in decades. And concerns about nuclear escalation are no longer limited to Europe. Chinese People's Liberation Army General Meng warns that nuclear risk is increasing globally. The warning comes as wars in Ukraine and West Asia continue to reshape global security calculations. For now, these remain discussions, not decisions.
International arms control disarmament and the non-proliferation regimes have been severely eroded. A series of nuclear arms control guardrails have collapsed. The two countries with the largest nuclear arsenals have entered the vacuum with no treaties, no verification, and no dialogue.
Diplomats say dialogue must continue despite differences.
Man, fuck that. It ain't fucking dialogue. It's prophecy. Y'all gonna go into the. They gonna deploy these weapons of mass destruction, even if they don't want to. But it's gonna happen because the Lord gonna make these niggas happen. The heart. Let me see. The king's heart's in the hand of the Lord. He control over whatever soever he would. No, let me just get to it. Because I haven't read that scripture in a while, and I can't sometimes memorize stuff. Is it the king's heart? Is it Proverbs chapter 21? Plus I need to go and tell you what book is in. Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh, as the rivers of water. And they say heart, they're talking about their mind. So the Lord controls the king's mind, even you people, regular people's mind, the peasants or whoever. As the servants, the believers of Yahweh by Shema. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whatever soever he will. So it's the Lord's will. Now, you know how they always say Lord's willing is always the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. If you don't like it, I don't care.
Military plan.
You know damn well the Lord don't care.
Stress safeguards and clear communications. Analysts point to arms control gaps and fractured crisis channels as the real and present danger. Bureau Report, Beyond World is One.
Yep. What I got to read? Yeah, they getting ready for that war. World War III, shit. Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. The second war was past, which that was World War II, and that was involved atomic bombs. But this one here, the third war, behold, the third war coming quickly, and that's World War III, and that's gonna be nuclear. And you see all these nations ramping up on their nuclear arms. What it says, U.S. plans nuclear bomber deployment near Russia. Oh, so they getting You think Russia gonna let that slide? No, they gonna do the same thing too, but they gonna have submarines. They on submarines around the outside areas of America. Yeah. And rising fresh tensions. Yeah, keep it fresh. Keep it hot too. Don't let it go cold. Or not hot, but keep it warm until it goes hot. You don't want it to go cold, and then it'll go stale and rot and shit. Anyway, last video.
Yep, that's our
Iran right now may very well have a nuke or two.
Well, Garland Nixon here. I'm standing in for Jimmy Dore. I am very proud to be here and hanging out with some of my good friends. Larry Johnson is a former CIA analyst and deputy director of the State Department's Office of Counterterrorism from 1989 to 1993, where he specialized in transportation security and anti-terrorism training. He currently publishes analysis on intelligence, national security, and political issues on his website, Sonar21.com, Larry Johnson. And might I add, a man of many wonderful shirts. He is a style creator. He's not a content creator. He is a style creator amongst the people online. What's happening there, Larry?
Hey, man, I'm sitting outside in Lanai. Got a nice 80-degree temperature, low humidity. It's great. This is when Florida is worth living in.
Well, that sounds great, but I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in that. You're having good times, Larry. It's time to bring that to a screeching halt. Let's take a look. Report, Israel. I don't know why I'm laughing. Sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying, right? But it's like Israel pressing the U.S. to assassinate Iran's lead negotiator, right? Israel is pressing the U.S. to restart heavy airstrikes on Iran that would involve the targeted killing of Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, one of Tehran's lead negotiators, and attacks on the country's oil infrastructure, capital and empire reported on Thursday. The report, which cited U.S. sources familiar with a classified report circling within the U.S. intelligence community, I wonder where they got that from. You know what? It's like watching the news, Larry, the so-called news. It's like, yes, anonymous intelligence people said fill in the blank. Anonymous government insiders and anonymous Trump's insiders. And I'm like, why don't they just write the articles? Instead of having like somebody's name at the top of the article, it could be just like New York Times.
Yeah.
June 1st, 2021. Anonymous intelligence insider. I think that's the name we should go. The report said Israel is aggressively pushing for the U.S. to abandon talks with Iran, oh, what a shock, and insisting that destroying oil infrastructure in the country could bring about regime change, while downplaying the impact renewed full-scale war will have on the global economy. I put it like this, Larry. They've been right so much in the past that when they say, look, all we got to do, knock out the oil infrastructure, and they'll throw in their hand and just say, I give. You got to, these people don't know what they're talking about, Larry.
Well, they ain't giving it up yet. And this shit gonna lead to that chip implant. But yeah, it's gonna fuck up a lot of you regular folks. Oh yeah, from worldwide.
They got one thing right. They don't have to worry about the U.S. abandoning talks with Iran because Iran walked away today, said, nope, we're not talking to you anymore. So Iran abandoned talks with the United States. Wow. And they made it quite clear why. Three principal reasons. One, the blockade which Trump imposed after the ceasefire negotiations. Two, the attacks in Lebanon on Beirut, the threatened attacks. And three, the attacks in Gaza. So Iran said, no, we're walking away. Now, let me tell you why this is important. Pepe Escobar and I were both presented with information Friday from a source that's a high-level intelligence. They're smart, but I'm talking about an intelligence organization. And we'll leave it to West Asia without specifying the country. And this person told us three things. Well, it told us a number of things, but there were three things in this report. Now, remember, this was on Friday. It said, one, Iran is going to walk away from the talks for the reasons that I just listed. Two, Iran is going to bail out on the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. They're going to walk away from that. Three, and this is one that we waited, so we got to confirm that it was, in fact, said by this person who is, again, I'll call him a high-level intelligence official, that Iran is going to will do a if they continue to receive threats and attacks, they will do a demonstration, will detonate a nuclear weapon, not attack somebody with a nuke, but they will detonate a nuclear weapon on Iranian soil to show the world we have a nuke.
Show the world, or show America and Amalek that don't fuck with us. We got them things too. Shit. And it's all self-defense. That's all it is. I mean, shit. You see, it's funny how United States of Amalek don't want to go and attack China, but China, they ain't saying nothing about China having nuclear arms, or Russia, or North Korea, or even South Africa. They got nukes, but this all about Iran. Yeah, because Israel, well, not the real Israel, but no fraudsters, Amalek, they want them niggas out of the picture. They want their land. They want their territory. They want all they got to expand for the greater project of Israel and whatever the hell else is on their agenda. But but it's ultimately the Lord's prophet. It's all prophecy from Yahweh Shema. I don't know what else to tell you, man. All I can tell you, I can't tell you in detail what's gonna happen, but I just want this shit to go forward, man. It's going forward, but I want some heavy shit to go down, bro, so we can go ahead and lock this bitch down. I'm tired of this fucking world.
So that was like, wow. Yeah. We're at the wow stage. We know the country that provided the information for them to do this. It was entertaining the possibility that one entire device was, or the devices were provided by another country, but instead it was the assistance in how to build it was provided by another country. So Iran right now may very well have a nuke or two. And
well, they been had nukes. They just kept a hush hush.
That was briefed to Marco Rubio.
I remember, what was that, last year or sometime earlier this year? They were doing ballistic missile testings, and they were showing off the ballistic missiles, launching them off.
Friday, and by the foreign minister of Pakistan. So what makes this relevant is this morning, it was around 10 a.m. Our time, East Coast, that Iran put out the word, we're done with so the first prediction the source made came to pass. Within an hour, Trump is on the phone with Bibi Netanyahu. Now, here's where it depends on who you're going to believe. Trump has an account. Makes it sound like it was a fairly polite conversation that here, don't do this, and you need to study, don't bomb Beirut. Netanyahu's version was just complete opposite, and then the Axios version, which I think is probably the most accurate, had Trump swearing like a sailor at Bibi Netanyahu, saying, basically, what the hell do you guys think you're doing? And telling him, you're not going to bomb Beirut.
I was just about to pause the video, and then an ad comes up. And I was like, hey, damn well that nigga ain't using no foul language on BB. BB like, shit. Nigga, let's bring the hit squad. This nigga get assassinated in 1 second. That nigga Trump was like, yes, master. I'll do whatever you say, master. Woof, woof. Shit, that nigga be barking and woofing and breathing heavy. He be wanting a treat. Anyway. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm being serious, but yeah, that nigga he gonna be a bitch.
So earlier in the day, Netanyahu and Katz, his defense minister, they've been claiming that that's what they're going to do. They were going to bomb Beirut. They were going to level Dahia, this one neighborhood that was known as the neighborhood for the Hezbollah. Later in the day, they said they're putting it on hold. They're not going forward with it. Now, related to that, an IRGC representative, guy wearing a uniform with looked like 2 stars, he said basically that if Israel bombs Beirut and the suburbs, that the people that live in northern Israel should evacuate immediately, because he didn't say we're gonna bomb the hell out of you, but that's what he was saying. We're gonna come bomb the hell out of you. They're gonna target military installations, military infrastructure.
And another thing too I want to mention is that this ain't, they're like, yo, where is this Bible prophecy that Israel will have nuclear arms and they the weapons of warfare. The weapons of warfare will be turned into gardening tools. So I'm like, where? I mean, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that those people are not the people. Shit, pretty much, to get it straight to the point. Let me read this scripture to prove that. Isaiah chapter 2 verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations, that be Yahweh Shah, checking these heathen nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords and the plowshares and their spears and the pruning hooks, turn their weapons of warfare, anything made out of metal, the shell, like shelling, not shelling, but enclosing the material that's inside for a nuke, to make a nuclear bomb or a missile or some or a warhead or whatever, stuff like that, metal stuff. It's gonna be supposed to be turned into gardening tools, but is that happening now? No. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation. These niggas talking about bumming each other with nukes. And that's a major sword right there. But they're lifting up swords, guns to the nukes, weapons of mass destruction upon one another, against one another. Neither shall they learn war anymore. But what are they doing? They war strategy. They working on war plans, working on the attack to do this and the attack to do that. Yeah. But come on, man. These people ain't the people. And what's wrong with you people that thinking that they are? Something wrong with you niggas. Anyway.
And military personnel. So, the age of the ceasefire is history. Adios.
And I hope they don't talk about another ceasefire again. I'm fucking through. How many times has it been? 5 or maybe 6 ceasefires called? Maybe 20. I lost count. I don't know. It's like I know I don't give a fuck. Every time I hear a ceasefire in the news, I'm like, oh, stop kicking the can down the road. Can somebody fuck up? Can somebody fuck up somebody, please? Like, in a major way? I mean, damn. Come on, people.
We're now in a new stage where Iran is, on top of it, Iran announced closing. It has now closed the Strait of Hormuz again. Remember, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been open for selected countries. But now they closed it permanently and said they're going to also shut down the Bab al-Mandab Strait in the Red Sea. So we'll see what happens in the next 24 hours. What's fascinating is Trump has had a relatively mild reaction to all of this. You know, normally he gets somebody that comes out and does those, he goes back on the attack. He's not going on the attack, which gives me more confidence that the judgment or the claim by the source about Iran is prepared to demonstrate a nuclear weapon in order to put everybody on notice. Okay, we got one now. If you attack us, we'll use it, which then changes the whole strategic picture.
Wow. You know, one of the things that a lot of people have been concerned with, and I've been concerned with, and I'm sure that Iran and its allies have been concerned with, is that, you know, if Iran goes nuclear, then lots of other countries around it will go nuclear. We did hear some negotiations between Pakistan.
But I'm going to say, it ain't going to happen that soon. First, you got to get the chip implants implemented first. And they got to be mandated. And they got to be worldwide. And then, pretty much the nukes will fly at some point. But the mark of the beast got to be worked around the whole world. Then the World War III would intensify with nuclear arms being deployed and used and fired and launched and dropped and, you know, all that stuff.
And Saudi Arabia, about Saudi Arabia being under their nuclear umbrella and protection, etc., in the last few weeks. One may suspect that these conversations were related.
Yeah. No, I think Pakistan's been playing a central role in all of this. And they're doing so at the behest of or under direction of or in cooperation with the Chinese. So these are not lone wolves. They're not making up their own policy. They are in constant contact with the Chinese and Russians too. Because what they're working at is developing a new security architecture for the Persian Gulf that does not have the United States involved.
Interesting. Now, let us, hopefully, if I can get back to our... The New York Times previously reported that Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had pitched Trump on launching the war back in early February by making a series of predictions that proved to be wrong. And I think, you know, let me say this. I think the issue of that they proved to be wrong, including the idea was right for regime change, that its ballistic missile program could be destroyed, that it would be 2 weeks closed to Straits of Hormuz. I think the concept that it was right or wrong misses the point.
I'm going to stop right there. If you want to watch the rest of it, I don't know. I just don't want to watch this anymore, listen to it. You get the idea. The shit's ramping up. I'm tired. I might do another video, then again, I might not. I just got so many videos I want to get into. But I just want to get the news out there. Because some of this stuff was from yesterday. Some of it I think is today. But I could have put more videos in about war. But like this right here, talking about Iran launches deadly new strike among the largest since war began. And this one, AI-powered drones swarm trigger global arms race. Or this one right here. Secret U.S. plans to expand NATO nuclear. Matter of fact, fuck it. Might as well say this and put this in. Say that, put that in. I don't know about this one. But tensions rise. U.S.-Iran tensions rise as Iran strikes Kuwait airport. Yeah. Oh, China invests in renewable energy pools. Oh, fuck, pays off. Who gives a fuck about that shit? Yeah, a little too late to be talking about some renewable energy. Well, anyway, man, that's all the videos I got for this updates of World War III news. And Iran has a nuke. Shit, I'm pretty sure they been had nukes. But anyway, man, stay prayed up and keep watching and listening on updates and what's going on with other brothers' channels. Seek Yahweh Shema Shah by seeking his prophets and take heed what to say, and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and bless to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.